Everyone look at it. Tim Pool met secretly with Benjamin Netanyahu. When he got caught, declared Chatham House rules. That means, well, I agreed it would be secret. Of course he did. Or sue me, Tim, if it's not true. Have your bots come out, have Netanyahu's little body bots come out and say I'm a liar. That makes it better. Because tomorrow on my show, I'm going to show it all.
Why would Alex Jones, who was my friend, instead of calling me, just randomly start tweeting things going on his show and making these false claims about me? Right. I had a phone call with a mutual friend, and I said, this doesn't seem organic. And they said, it seems like someone's telling Alex what to say.
Maybe he's back on the sauce.
So what would make Alex Jones become a different person overnight? His whole life, Alex was the same person until just now.
I did nothing. Oh, the clear blue, he attacked me. Oh, God. No, he's like, oh, you lost your audience because you're anti-Trump. So the gloves are off, not just with Tim Pool, but anybody that I've sat there and I've, quote, been friends with, that stabs me in the back, and then does this crap claiming you don't know why I'm pissed off at you. You think we're fucking stupid? So I'm just telling you right now, you don't want problems, just take my name out of your mouth, okay? But if you want to fight, you fucking got one.
All right, so we have Alex Jones clashing with Tim Pool. These people are just imploding. Every week there's a new feud that breaks out. Like, all these people that used to be pretty friendly with each other now just spend all day on Twitter calling each other grifters. So these people must have been barely holding it together, because once they start disagreeing, they go all out trying to expose each other. You know, when things are going well and they're doing each other's podcasts, they'll ignore any suspicious behavior. But then, once they start arguing, it's like they have all this ammo ready to use, and it seems like they've been preying on each other's downfall. Like, Alex was complaining on Twitter about how his views have dropped 90%, and he's being censored for covering the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories. But then people in his comments just started roasting him for his coverage of stuff like the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories. And some right-wing influencers were saying it's not the algorithm, it's the fact that you started criticizing Trump. And they're making jokes about how the Pakistani bot farms were shut off and that's why his views dropped. So Alex started crashing out in the comments and arguing with everyone. Then Tim Pool chimed in and just set him off. Tim said, my honest opinion is that you can't go pro-Trump for 10 years, then Trump critical, and be surprised if your audience drops off. So then Alex spent all night in his car recording himself, ranting about how Tim is an Israeli operative because he had a secret meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu last April, and now he's getting talking points from Israel and is being propped up by an Israeli bot farm.
And then he seizes on it and says, oh, you criticize Trump, your audience is gone, along with tens of thousands of others, so it trended to the top of X. They didn't all just magically come up with that instantly when I posted the video last night. So maybe Tim's just dumb and copied what the Israeli bots were putting out, but he does meet with the guy that gives the orders. So that's why I'm irritated. That's why I'm sick and tired of this garbage. And I've just been too nice to these little swarmy, people that sit there and act like they're patriots, but they're not. If you support Israel controlling our government, you support Israel taking over our military with the NDAA, if you support all this garbage, you're not an American. You're a traitor and it's treason. It's been clear these guys all follow talking points and are in lockstep, and they all deny they're taking money from Israel. But on record, Israel spent $1.3 billion in the last 18 months. If you go back about 14 months ago, Tim Pool got caught meeting secretly with a bunch of influencers with Netanyahu, reportedly getting marching orders, according to sources. He said, yeah, I met with him and I'm proud of it, but I won't tell you what we talked about. Chatham House rules. And all I know is Tim Pool follows the exact Israeli talking points. So even if he's not taking money, he is following their talking points. I want to just say this. When I see Tim Pool putting on Israeli talking points against me, it's just absolutely disgusting. And it's shameful what he has become. And I'm going to show Netanyahu launching the Eighth Front, the Eighth Front War, a year and a half ago, right before you met with him. And we're going to expose it all. And we're going to show how at the exact same time last night when I posted a video about the new algorithm censoring all the live streams, within minutes, hundreds of people saying the exact same thing came out. Are they all on the payroll? Maybe not. Probably not, but some are. You can't hide from the truth. You can't hide from the truth. And so we're going to expose it tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central.
So then Tim accused Alex of getting a call, to attack him. And he claims a bot farm with the same talking points as Alex is attacking him as well. So then Alex accused him of getting a call from Benjamin Netanyahu. I guess it's battle of the sellout grifter bot armies. that none of these people seem to care about until shit hits the fan and they start arguing. You know, Alex was on Tim's podcast earlier this year after Tim already met with Benjamin Netanyahu and had that tenant media deal that was funded through Russia. So it was already pretty clear Tim's a shill, but now Alex is just starting to realize it, or just starting to admit it. Like now he claims Tim is taking marching orders from Israel and he's a smarmy, backstabbing grifter. And Tim's all surprised that Alex would say something like that about him. But he did kind of start it here by kicking Alex while he's down. You know, Alex is complaining about how he's not getting any views anymore and he's going broke. And Tim's like, that's what you get for turning on Trump. So I don't know why he's shocked by this and acting like Alex has to be getting paid to say something like this. I mean, he's also always looking to fight people, so Tim was kind of asking for it here.
Well, you lost your audience, nanny, nanny, boo-boo, stick your head in doo-doo. You can't come to the cool kid table in 5th grade. We don't want you at our Howard Lutnick, Jeffrey Epstein table. And I'm just like, when did you guys become 10-year-olds? I mean, seriously. I said, this is probably a bug. It needs to be fixed. This absolutely sucks. And I'm drawing attention to it. And you're like, no, everyone just stopped listening to you because you're anti-Iran war and you question Charlie Kirk. Look at the quartering. Let's scroll up. Maybe the Pakistani bots are asleep. Alex, as a daily viewer, I have personally tuned out since you've been on this "the Jews killed Charlie Kirk" nonsense. I'll tune back in when you come back to your senses. What did my post have to do with Jews? I didn't say the Jews killed Charlie Kirk. That's what most of the internet thinks, and I've looked at all the angles. Tim Pool cries foul after attacking Alex Jones. InfoWars founder calls on Timcast host to come clean on secret meetings with Netanyahu and Israeli officials. And then all the bots, the same known bots came in, and influencers, that's what they are, shills, and said, oh, he announced the meeting. It was public. It was on TV. He had Netanyahu on the podcast. None of that happened because I've known Tim a long time. I've been nothing but nice to Tim. You know, he's done some swarmy kind of backhanded things here and there. He's kind of known for that. But that's the reality. So I got to tell you, Tim, you got big old huevos rancheros there, pal, saying, I got a call. Who'd I get a call from, pal? Because I didn't meet in secret. I didn't meet in secret with Netanyahu. Alex got the call. That's the simple explanation. Really? Did I get a call from Benjamin Netanyahu to come meet with him secretly like you did? Is that what happened? Is that what went on?
So this is like watching middle schoolers fight. It's ridiculous. And Tim started threatening to release a message Alex sent him about Candace Owens, where he's calling her a demon. Then Candace came out and said Alex apologized to her for it, which that is weird. Alex did a total 180 with Candace. He flip-flops so much, it must give his fans whiplash, and that's what people are saying in his comments with the Charlie Kirk stuff. Because I think within only a few months, Alex went from being Candace's #1 critic and saying she's a globalist CIA deep state operative, to then apologizing to Candace and promoting theories even crazier than hers. Alex thinks the only theory that makes sense now is that Charlie faked his own death and is still alive. He went from trying to debunk Candace's theories and crashing out on her for promoting insane theories, to then saying Charlie staged his death. So I don't know what the hell is going on anymore, and it's disappointing because watching Alex crash out over Candace was so entertaining. That was some of his best work.
Candace Owens is really a man. Candace, also known as Big Mike Jr., got Erica Kirk pregnant. Charlie found out about it, and that's why the two of them got together and conspired to assassinate Charlie to cover this up. Candace has a little lantern that has Charlie Kirk in it, and she can rub it, and then it goes, like she said, the dreams. And then when she has the dreams, we got to listen. Okay? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Candace is the Messiah. Only Candace is investigating. Only Candace talks about the Charlie Kirk thing. Only Candace. And you're attacking her. And a better word for Candace is a megalomaniac who has no concern for the truth and on a power trip who thinks she can just keep doubling down and that we're just going to buy whatever incredible horse shit she puts out. What are the fucking lies, lady? I mean, how stupid. Here's my problem. Stop insulting my intelligence. Now I have to watch all the sewage pipeline that's your mouth. Just that I have to like examine all the turds that come out of it and sit there and explain to people. And then you keep doubling down. I want to not look at this. I want you to stop the lying. Stop the horse shit. Dredging up horrible, bizarre con men with huge pedigrees of scams and bashing women's heads in on record. You know, and they're like, well, big deal. He bashes all these women's heads in and everything, lies about everything. But he was there. He's got proof. He was acting so weird. They detained him and asked him, what was going on.
So he was losing his shit over her, and it was hilarious. And he thought Tyler Robinson was the one that killed Charlie Kirk. But now apparently he doesn't even think Charlie's dead. He thinks he staged his own death. He said that's the only thing that makes sense to him, and he apologized to Candace Owens. So maybe he was just jealous that Candace stole his thunder when it comes to conspiracy theories or something. So he had to come out with the most ridiculous one he could think of. I don't think Candace has even claimed something like this. I mean, to watch the video of Charlie get assassinated and think that was fake blood and it was staged is total insanity.
It was a consensus. Sean was getting him on the phone and stuff. They were like, oh, no, we all know it's fake. He's alive. I mean, and these are experts. They're like, that's fake. They're smiling. They don't look upset. Where's all the blood? And it looks like a squib coming out. And I'm not, folks, I'm just saying a week into it, there was a consensus with Sean Johnson's military buddies who were like, we think that's fake. We think he's alive. And I said, well, I'm not going to go there yet. And now it's just the only thing that makes sense.
So at this point, I think mental patients sound more grounded to reality than these people. And it's so funny. They act all friendly with each other, but as soon as they start fighting, they have all this stuff ready to throw at each other, all this dirt to bring up. Like, they've been waiting to go after each other. Everyone is so passive-aggressive, too. Like, the shot Tim took at Alex, he's even acting all surprised that Alex was upset about that. He's like, why me? Overnight, Alex just turned into someone completely different. He must have been paid to attack me. But I think most of these people, even the ones that associate with each other, really just can't stand each other and are waiting for the moment to attack. I mean, as soon as Alex complained about his views, all these people are ready to be like, what do you expect? This is what you deserve. Then Alex, he was ready to bring up that Netanyahu meeting Tim had, and he made a ton of videos about it. Then Tim threatened to bring up Alex's messages about Candace, and he also said my tolerance and grace for these people is zero. Alex has shown up blackout drunk to my studio several times, and I never dragged him for it. So Tim is always so passive-aggressive, and he always tries to act like he's above all the drama and doesn't want to be involved in it. But then he gets on his show and says Alex is going broke and he's probably accepting money from nefarious sources to attack him and the right. It sounds like he's even trying to put pressure on Alex's employees to quit because they know Alex isn't doing the right thing anymore.
I'll say this. I see it as one of two worlds. My personal opinion is that the simple solution actually is that Alex is working with a political action committee that is also coordinating with other individuals for the purpose of this new political paradigm. You don't change who you are. I mean, it's been 30 plus years he's been in the industry, and all of a sudden his character is totally different. Let me tell you, I tweeted at Alex, can I publish the voice memo you sent me about Candace? I won't do it unless you give me permission. And he just stopped responding to me. He won't respond now. For him, 7 months later, to completely have inverted all of his positions, I find to be suspect.
But wouldn't it make more sense for him to come to you as a friend and be like, hey, I'm struggling with my business
I can't give him money.
But to come on the show or promote each other, wouldn't that make more sense than to just completely turn on you? I mean,
not if he's being offered money.
Yeah.
I can't give him money. What am I going to do? Here, Alex, let me write you a check. It's not going to do anything. Yeah. But imagine there's a political action committee, and they said, listen, as we go after the midterms, this is going to be the play. You can see that, Tucker and Anna Kasparian are completely aligned in their worldview at this point. For someone like Alex, who was a friend of ours for years, to abruptly and seemingly for no reason be like, F. Tim Pool, he works for Benjamin Netanyahu. It's just like, okay.
That makes zero sense.
What just happened?
It's irrational.
Yeah, it's like, Alex Jones was my friend. He literally would just text me stuff. We would talk. We had a conversation once about what private jets to buy. Just like, that's what rich people talk about. He was like, Tim, I'm telling you, you get a good jet for about $1 million. And I was like, Alex, I'm not buying a private jet. And now all of a sudden he's just like, Tim Pool is secretly meeting with Netanyahu and works for him. And I'm just like, out of nowhere, I got people texting me, and they're like, what is happening? What happened? Like, what did you do? And I was like, I tweeted that if you build up a channel for 10 years supporting Trump, but then stop supporting him, you're going to lose viewers. And everyone's like, yeah, that's not a reason for him to make up fake things about you. That's like, what I will say is, obviously we know a lot of people who work at his company. And there's a lot of fervor right now over what he's doing. And there's a lot of, we'll see what happens. But I do think that for most people, money talks and BS walks. So I would not be surprised if they are people who just duck and keep their heads down and sacrifice their morals for the paycheck.
There's a lot of money sloshing around right now.
Yeah.
From a lot of different.
I'm just saying, do you expect anybody who works with Alex to stop working with him because they think he's a bad guy?
No.
How much you want to bet? None of them will. They'll just say, leave me out of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just fair to some degree. I mean,
yeah.
people got to get food on the table.
Then Tim started saying the people that are attacking him are just talentless and jealous of his success. He did a lot of coping this episode because it was also after that Jubilee debate where Tim, of course, embarrassed himself. So he was getting a ton of shit for that and the Alex Jones stuff. I think that's why he kept bringing up how rich he is and how much money he makes to make himself feel better. Even though he also always complains about how he doesn't make enough and his views are down. It seems like usually at least twice a year he crashes out and threatens to quit and is like, it's not even worth it for me anymore. I'm just going to go live in a van down by the river. He even said that this episode. It's like he wants people to be like, no, Tim, please don't. We need you. But people are just like, dude, do whatever you want. I'm just sick of the bitching and moaning all the time. You know, now everyone's just complaining about each other complaining. Like with Alex and his views dropping, nobody wanted to hear it. So it's every man for himself out there. You know, I think the days of everyone getting along and doing each other's shows are over. And now it's just a battle to stay relevant. Which Tim claims people are attacking him for the views and clicks. Because according to him, they're lower tier personalities and they need to attack someone more successful than them.
Clint Russell has been just making things up about me because he gets retweets for it. You know, because these people are, I don't know, like there's probably a reason why they're lower tier personalities. And I'm not saying lower tier is a disrespectful thing. I'm like, obviously my show is bigger than their shows. You know, maybe there's a reason why Timcast IRL is so big and we've got this massive multi-million-dollar compound and with a skate park in it. You know, like we make stupid amounts of money. It's not a humble brag. It's just maybe when you actually have like a consistent through line of what motivates you, you will do better in business. And that was kind of the point that I was making with Alex. And maybe this is what really changed with Alex is, you know, he just doesn't have the backing anymore. He doesn't have enough critical mass of allies.
Also, now I think it's more profitable for these people to attack each other rather than work together and do each other's shows. You know, like going on each other's podcasts isn't what it used to be, and you get more exposure now from trashing Tim Pool rather than doing his podcast. So that's another reason why I think people don't care to be friendly with each other anymore.